speaker is a huge part of the reason that we're all here. She has really dialed in the nuts and bolts of this event and many more. She's been fighting against this fascist clown tirelessly. I know, because I've been fighting beside her, and I'm exhausted, and I think she sleeps less than I do. But she still manages to look incredible every day, and she's just an incredible leader, doing incredible work. I know you already know who I'm talking about. Please give a warm round of applause for Jessica Denson.
This nation functions through consent of the governed. Do we consent to what's going on right now? Are we demanding Donald Trump's immediate conviction, impeachment, and removal from office? You know, there are oppressive laws that our founding was designed, divinely inspired to do away with. And then there is oppressive thinking. There is mental slavery. There is hypnosis. And I'm telling you, what is going on right now is an attempt to keep the American people in a state of hypnosis. In a state of not being aware of their human and divine rights. They have counted on us being trapped in this hypnotic state where we forget our power, where we forget who we are. But the American people have not forgotten who we are. We are in charge of this nation, and we will decide its future. Do you see how incredible what we have done today is? Just a few months ago, really up until just recently, they were trying to make those of us who were calling for impeachment look like fools. Look like some fringe movement who were so silly to think this constitutional necessity could be accomplished. But today, we are making anyone who says impeachment is not possible look like the fools.
Well, there was absolutely no way I could remain apolitical today, man, after that march. God, that was great. That speaker, she is awesome. And Al Green, too, man. My hat goes off to that. That man is just off the hook. Kind of makes you wish, like, oh, man, I think I just lost a whole bunch of video. I'll start over. I had to blow my nose there and turn the camera off. This is what the Hawaiian Cheiftian looked like when it was completely finished. I think that's outside of Tacoma, which is not far from where I'm at right now. But it's got its own Wikipedia page and everything, and yeah, it was quite the project. Morgan Davies was the main welder, and he stayed there until the end of '88. I went on to my next job before I said goodbye to Morgan. He stayed there a little longer than I did, but quite an interesting man. He said it's just like building a model ship, except if you fuck it up, you can't hide it under your bed. I thought that was hilarious. Here's my half-finished painting. Now, obviously, the ship was never in Lahaina welding with the sails raised up like that, but it was sitting on stilts like you see it there. So I thought it would be more fun if I actually put it in the welding shop like it was a finished ship sitting on stilts. And how they got it from there into the water, I'm not sure, but I sure wish I could have seen that. Anyway, these are 40-foot containers. Had portholes cut in the side of them, and electricity just went right up to the pole on the road. And like, it was in a residential neighborhood. I mean, there's no way you could ever have gotten away with that today. But Drake knew everybody, Drake Thomas, and yeah, that's going to be a good painting. Sorry again, I'm sick. I'm out of it, and I don't know if I covered everything. I don't know how much I lost there in the video. I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. Age-old story, man. But yeah, it's quite a time. I didn't see that ship finished until I was living in New Jersey a year and a half later, and I was getting a bunch of magazines. I was subscribed to a bunch of magazines about Hawaii because I knew as soon as I got out, I was going right back. And I felt a lot differently about Hawaii then than I do now. But anyway, I had this feeling that there it was on the cover of the magazine, the Hawaiian Cheiftian. And I wouldn't get to see it actually for another 3 years. And sorry, I was in the Bay Area and I was watching TV one night, and a commercial comes on for the Oakland Boat Show, and they go, "Oh, the Oakland Boat Show, blah, 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 down Jack London Square. Come see all these fabulous boats featuring the Hawaiian Cheiftian." And I'm like, what? So I called my friend up and I go, "Dude, you got to go down to the Jack London Square with me. The ship that I told you about that I worked on Maui is actually out there and they're sailing it." So I showed up with some pictures that I had taken when I built the boat. Everybody was just like, "Wow, where did you get these?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I took them. I was one of the guys working at the Lahaina Welding when it was built." And pretty cool. Morgan and I used to go stand up on the deck and smoke a joint and rock back and forth like this and wave to people, tourists driving down this road, because it doesn't really look like a road yet. But there was one point on this road coming from Lahaina headed up towards Kapalua that you could actually see into the welding shop. It was like on a hill, and you could actually see the ship, and people like slam on the brakes like, "What the fuck? There's a giant steel ship down there." And we would smoke a joint up there, leaning back and forth like we were actually in the water, and the boat was rocking. It's pretty cool. Good memories, good times, and noodle salad. But anyway, I finished that job. I moved on to another job on Maui briefly. And then I completely switched it up on a really different job for a couple of years. And I'll talk about when the time comes. But you know me, I'm not revealing anything about the future until we get there. So Travels with Carl, it's all about me, Carl, which is my motorhome, and traveling. But it's not just about traveling. It's really about my life as an artist and the traveling that I did in my life to remain a living artist. Which ain't easy, baby. I'll tell you that right now. If I had it to do over again, I'd probably be an attorney or a doctor. I'm not sure about that. But anyway, I'm feeling pretty under the weather, so I might make this a short video, but I might just keep on droning on a little bit about politics, because I sure did enjoy seeing Marjorie Taylor Greene resign just when she started to get her senses back. And but I really enjoyed seeing the protest marches down there in D.C. on Saturday, man. That was just fantastic. That was all I was good for yesterday, is just watching that, watching TV, watching YouTubes. I could not get it down to the trailer to make a video. I just felt so fucking sick. I got my vaccinations before I left. I was hoping I wouldn't get sick because, you know, if you're going to get sick, an airplane is the best way to do it. And I was trapped on that airplane for one of them for a couple hours, one of them for close to 9. Excuse me. But nothing but good things to say about British Airways. Man, that was fabulous. And I was just a coach. It is a really cool airline company. But, you know, Portugal, I immediately felt at ease over there. Nobody gave me a hard time with my limited Portuguese. The food was off the hook. The people are off the hook. Everything is much less expensive. And the people don't even talk about politics. The night I left, I was watching CNN in the lobby. I was there by myself. I had to kind of keep the volume down because I didn't want to, you know, A, I was watching it in English, and B, our country is just embarrassing. But you know what? Senator Al Green to the rescue, because you see how many people ended up voting for the Epstein files to be released? I think we're going to get that kind of vote on an impeachment. You can't say that you're going to hang 6 sitting Congress people for speaking correctly about the Uniform Code of Military Justice, which I know something about. I can't talk about it. Not yet. It's down the road. We'll come up on it. But they're absolutely right. Not only should you refuse to take an illegal order, you must refuse to take an illegal order. And that's scary for an enlisted dude. You know, not so bad for an officer, but they'll just throw an enlisted dude right in the brig. They don't give a fuck. You know, you got to make sure you're right. But I know one thing. You can't just bomb boats coming out of Venezuela shooting across the Caribbean just because you're pretty sure they're carrying drugs. Are they carrying drugs? Absolutely. But can you just shoot them dead in the water without investigation or trial? No. Remember that whole thing where the Coast Guard would board the boats and they would go, well, what do you got there? 500 kilos of coke, sir. That's what I thought. All right. But you can't just vaporize them from a Navy ship or a fighter plane or a helicopter without any investigation or due process of law. Okay, that's in the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So Al Green, before Christmas, we're going to get to see Peach get in Trump. Yeah, Peach. We're going to get to see Piggy get impeached for his 3rd time, man. That's got to feel special. But he doesn't care. He doesn't, nothing, no, he has no shame. There is nothing that humiliates him, you know. But I think there's going to be a chance that there's going to be some good stuff come out of the Epstein files. And I think there's a good chance he's actually going to get impeached. And I just can't wait for the whole thing. I mean, it's going to be like the best holiday, Thanksgiving, Christmas entertainment. You know, and like I said, I am so excited to be back home. I missed my house. I missed my birds, and especially my hummingbirds. But let me tell you about this farm, man. Wow, it is going to be so cool. And I'm already like just on it, like getting help with all, deciding what varieties of cherries I'm going to plant and how we're going to clear the land, when we're going to do that. So I should have 500 trees in by the time I return over there in spring. Anybody wants to go to Portugal with me in the spring, connect with me. Excuse me. Reach out to me, and the more the merrier. If you're up for camping, you can camp on my farm. Just a few miles, a couple kilometers from Valdepereira. That's a tough one to say. And Mount Leal. And anyway, yeah. So I feel sick. I think I'm going to call it. I got the heater running in here. I'm actually very comfortable in Carl. Carl is just such a wonderful motorhome. But I got to look for a Carlita in Portugal, because I think while I'm rebuilding this stone house, I'm just going to buy another motorhome over there and crash in the motorhome while I'm working, because that way I've got the best of both worlds. I've got all the creature comforts I want, Wi-Fi, hot and cold running water, bathroom, shower, gas and electric stove, oven. I got everything a man could need in here. And so I got to find something like this in Portugal, because Carl can't make that trip, man. Plus, it's harder to register a car from the United States or a motorhome from the United States. It's just too many hoops to jump through. And if I buy something there, I'll probably get it even cheaper than I got. Who knows? I don't care. But I'm thinking that's probably going to be the way to go. Oh, and I didn't even know, but it looks like I'll be able to connect to the sewer from my farm too, because there's a dirt road that goes out to the blacktop road. There's actually a sewer line. We saw there's a manhole cover on it. There's actually a sewer line under that dirt road. So then I've got power right there, so I'll be able to have a sewer line hooked up to the motorhome, and water. I'm going to drill a borehole. It's better to do that for drinking water, and not that expensive. And I'll just use the well for the irrigation for the trees and for my garden, for my veggie patch. So I think this is, don't quote me, but I think this is 6 job numbers, either 16 or 17. You'll see as soon as I post it, because I've got all that information at my house. But hopefully the next time I talk to you, I won't sound like this, and I won't be like a sloth. And yeah, I'm just happy to be back. And I missed you all. Love you all. And happy holidays to everybody. I won't see you until after Thanksgiving. So have a great Thanksgiving. I'm really looking forward to it. Thanksgiving meal is one of those traditions that I always go out somewhere to get the official Thanksgiving meal, because I want everything, and I don't want to cook it myself, because it's going to last longer than I want it to. And it's just too much food to cook for a single person. Not going to do it. So, love you all, man. Let's ride.
Surrounded by the beast, the birds and the breeze, his motor home in the woods where creativity sees. Some will the bold colors come.